Public hearing on the proposed 2015 budget for the town. So if you haven't already, okay, everybody picked up a copy of the budget itself. We don't have any particular order in which we're going to do this. However, we'll do it on a page, and if you have anything that stands out or you need explanation on, we'll make certain that we do that. Otherwise, the bad news is on the very last page. So let's start with page number 1. It would be the general government expenditures. And leading the pack, of course, is the salary of the chairman and the supervisors. The only increase that we saw at that particular point was to provide the clerk treasurer an increase of 3% for the year.
Thank you very much.
Now hold it, you don't have it yet.
We haven't approved the budget. You could give up 3%.
Even the consideration.
Keep your nose clean for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, and then we go down to the attorney and legal. That would be the allowances for our enforcement of our ordinance that we're going to eventually get into. It's the nuisance ordinance and the problems that we're having with the cleaning up of the areas in the community. Looks like we're going to get a new a machine. But that's scheduled for, is it 2015 or later?
Probably the end of next year. I put that as one of the capital improvement items because it will have hopefully a more life of more than 8 years.
This one, is this the one that had all those votes for kitchens?
Stuck.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions going down? Assessor reval, we now have 67,003 accumulated. Does that include this year's 10?
Yes, that includes this year's 10.
Okay. We're compelled to do it every so many years, or if we run off of 7 or below 70%. And the new copier in 2014, and we'll get a backup printer at total expenses, $150. Cleaning and supplies and others. Town employees, parks on page 2. Parks and all grounds. You can see by column E the year-to-date where we are. We aren't anticipating any large increase, so we only went to 18,000. The workers' comp, the first responder group. The county of Door does provide $1,950 annually, and that's our contribution. Public safety, the line number 46 is the fire protection. We paid to the city of Sturgeon Bay, and for their fire services, it's $347,000. I don't see the need to go through anything else. Road construction is, we're down to, each year we come down with a little bit less. We anticipated 186 in 2014. And we have only budgeted 175, so if there's any need for anything major, I don't believe we're going to have any local road improvement monies this time around. Last item there, the snow removal at 100,000. We are showing a deficit at the end of 2013. Where do we stand so far now?
Well, obviously, we practically doubled in 2013 from what we had budgeted. Year to date, right now we're at almost 86,000. We budgeted 90,000. We have to get through December. And when it's going, we could probably burn through 10,000, 20,000 real easy, so.
Why did they plow Whitefish Bay Road?
Because-
They didn't go down Bark, they didn't go down South Gate.
Because you know you live there, John.
Right. In the middle of the winter, when we get 6 inches, they don't plow it. When we get 1.5 inches, they plow it.
Usually what they do is a lot of times I've seen them just drive, I've had this question asked of me, they just drive down to the boat ramp and they turn around and come back up.
That's
So-
about all they did, yeah.
That's all they usually ever do, and some
They
people,
didn't do Miller or,
right, because we didn't plow anything.
okay.
He
Yeah,
just
that
does
would've
that as a
That would
convenience.
have been the county trunk highway.
So they charge us for that?
No.
Okay.
Occasionally, just
In front of your house, yes.
occasionally, if he, for some reason, he's also gone down Bark with his plow, only to get back on Glidden to finish it up.
Oh.
No.
Don't know, maybe it's just a convenience, he's gotta go one way or the other, so he just does
I'll
it,
tell him you live down there and then you'll get a plow each side.
so.
All right, on page number 3, tree trimming,
Right.
the budget ash tree applications, what is that all about?
Well, Mr. Weidman treated the ash trees this year, and I believe Mr. Wolfel requested that we include some for next year, but the cost is nominal. I mean, if we're
For what?
looking at $100
That was just.
for the ash trees.
That was just the chemical.
Yeah.
Well, the guy that put it on can donate his time.
Well, he did.
Okay.
That is
Appreciate-
for,
And we appreciate that.
that is for our town
Thank you.
park, or
I appreciate your appreciation.
Okay.
okay, street lighting are the same, everything else is pretty close in the entire page. Program director, looks like he's gonna send us a ton of money. That must be the guy behind the camera. Any questions on page 3? Okay, page 4, capital outlay. Number 1, the new picnic tables under the pavilion or in the park, were they
Last year.
contracted for or not?
They're going into the 2014 budget, and I did just get a bill.
Yeah.
It was 6 times 260,
64 or something like that?
2,100.
That was out of this year's money, even.
But I put it into this year's because they had
Yeah.
capital improvements left over.
Okay, and the voting equipment would be new, and that's on line 98. It does appear like we're going to need to revise that. I think the county's gonna do half.
50?
Yeah. We'll do a 50-50 split with the community or municipality.
Well, perhaps if we're not gonna spend it all on the voting equipment,
Oh,
the utilities, the light bulbs that they wanna replace at
Okay,
$100 a crack,
very good.
could use it for that.
Is the voting equipment not working?
It works perfectly, Bill, but we can't get support for it anymore. So as far as tune-ups and parts and things like that, that's what I'm told anyway. And everybody in Door County uses the same equipment because we all use, we all program for our elections the same. So that was the word from the county clerk, that we should plan to invest in new equipment come the end of 2015.
So the county will share cost. And it's, why is it, I know it's advantageous for everyone to be on the same machine, but is that for reporting purposes to county clerk? Or?
Well, this way we can all use the same ballot style, so that saves on printing costs. We have memory cards. what if something happened to my machine and Liberty Grove has an extra I
Oh, yeah.
could borrow there, so kind of like a backup system and.
Are we still gonna have the requirement that we have 2 machines?
No,
Oh,
we
okay.
will be fine with one machine, I think.
Very good. All right, any other questions?
No,
And the revenues go down to 113, 187, 236 would be our proposed highway aids that we get for the year.
That should go up with the new tax.
I'm sorry?
That should go up with the new tax.
Especially with the number of Priuses that we have up here.
You're gonna have plug-in stations though.
All right, page number 5. Building permit receipts, we retain 10%, so that's been pretty close. We anticipate 35,000 this year. The last line, the tax levy receipts, 592,895. On page 6.
well, on your room tax receipt, I was looking, that's a nice increase. Is that based, what is that based on? Am I reading that correctly? Year to date?
Year to date, we received 57,000, yes, I
So
think
that's-
we'll probably be
that's over.
close to 80 because we have the big months of September and October coming yet, so,
So,
yeah, they're always like 60 days behind.
I read someplace where I think it was in one of the newspapers that the room tax revenue, they projected to be up considerably this year because of tourists. So are you experiencing the same thing then?
I think we, compared to last year,
It looks like it.
right, we have an increase.
Chuck,
is
what's
on
what is
40.
anticipated on the room tax? Is it gonna go up 4% or better?
You can never guess at that one. It depends on the weather. This year we had a lousy spring and things finally took off. We had a good year throughout though. But now with winter weather coming in this early, it's gonna raise hell with the last couple of months, so. No.
So your
We don't
educated
have
guess
a
is it's
big-
gonna be about right.
Snow attraction though. Now, there's no, per se, snowmobile trails around like there are in the northern part of the state. So snow doesn't really bring people to Door County. Ice fishing maybe, but
You need a ski hill.
ice fishing. I think we'd all be happy if we could hold our own. If we get a 2% increase, it's gonna be good. Everybody wants something better, so.
Okay, page 6 would be next. Questions on the top half? Total revenues? Why don't you take the rest of this levy and the mill rate history, Linda?
Okay, well, the mill rate's based on our assessed valuation. I actually have it on the chalkboard there, $718,078,500, up slightly from, let's see.
714.
3.5 million from the year before. I'm sorry, Dan, what did
No,
you say?
you're fine.
Okay. So, as the budget proposed right now, we are thinking about a levy amount needed of that $649,106. That includes a general tax levy of our maximum levy limit, which is $592,895. That's the maximum we can allow for the Department of Revenue, because we're at a 0% increase. Luckily, our new construction allows us to exceed that a little bit, I think by about, was it 5,000 this year or something like that? So, general tax levy, $592,895, plus levy for our debt on this town hall. You see our interest and principal payments that are due every year. So a total levy proposed is $649,106. That's what would be going on the 2014 tax bill payable in 2015. That would result in approximately, you see the number there, 0.903949 cents per thousand, compared with 0.887, less than a 2% increase over last year with the budget as proposed.
That would be a 2 cent.
Yeah, less than 2% and less than 2 cents increase.
We're big in the twos.
Yeah, I do actually have the numbers from the other taxing entities if anybody's interested or not.
You got a summary sheet? Summary sheet? I'd like.
Okay, any other questions on page 6 or page 7? Interesting to note that our existing indebtedness at the end of the year would be $400,000. And that was almost totally for this building, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, page 7, Linda.
Well, those are my estimated, as we were as of October 15th, and my estimated to the year end. We're usually pretty close on that. Per our resolution, that our recommended cash on hand or reserve should be at 15% of our budget. So we should be up near 150 of general funds. I think the unassigned funds might be a little misleading because we are accumulating, you know, our room tax to help pay for our debt. So our unassigned funds appear to be low at less than 75,000, but we are accumulating room tax as we go along. So all funds together, that's a pretty decent balance, I would think.
Very good. All right, questions or comments on the entire, or it'll go to the board later for approval?
I just have a question, maybe I'm new to this, so forgive me if I ask some questions that may seem simple to you, but this budget looks like it was based on zero-based budgeting, as I call it, which is departments and everybody go back and say, okay, here's what we're gonna need, is that correct?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. And I'm not arguing that, I'm just saying, I think that's good, as opposed to just putting in across the board increase that matches whatever you think the proposed evaluation is gonna be. You know, and then just go back and spend it accordingly.
Yeah, what we try to do is establish where we were last year and to see how close we did come, or you don't see any large margins.
No.
You know, as far as creating a mattress or a pillow or something, so.
And your anticipated 1,079 or 1,080,000, and your proposed budget is 1,065,000. So that's actually $15,000 less than what you're going to end up, what we're going to end up with the anticipated final. Is that right? Am I reading that correctly? About that. And then the levy is something we don't have any control over, right? When you get your success evaluations, it's a percentage that's applied. It gives us the taxing power, is that basically?
Well, you have, you know, we usually start off, okay, these are our anticipated expenses.
Right.
This is pretty much what we're gonna have for revenues, license permits, room tax, blah, blah, blah. And so the difference is what we need to levy. And in this case, it was 649,000. Now, the Department of Revenue has put a cap on municipalities, 0% for the last, what are we going on, our fourth or fifth year? A 0% increase. However, if you have new construction, which of course adds to your assessed valuation, you can exceed that levy limit. So our levy limit, I think, was 587,000, but we could go up to 590,000 because of our new construction, because that's adding to our basis. So you levy the difference, what you need, between your expenses and your anticipated revenues. Whatever you need to make up the difference is the levy. So, and then again, that's based on per thousand of mill rate. And with the huge decrease, NWTC, our levy last year was $1 million, this year it's less than 600,000. I mean,
So what is
our
that?
tax bill will probably be less than it was last year.
Sure.
I can't speak for those that are paying Sturgeon Bay School District taxes, but it might be, I just did some.
That'd be us, Bill.
What is,
That's one of the reasons I'm here.
what is the
Might be-
Sevastopol per
It
thousand?
might be less. Your tax bill might go down about 30 cents per thousand, unless I'm missing something.
No, but the NWTC went down so dramatically that, so
That
what
your
do you,
mill rate may
that-
go down
that's-
25, 30 cents per thousand.
That's
don't
a
say that
one-year-
with,
that's
don't
a
say that with
one-year-
Dick.
That's a one-year shot though. So you just-
And there again, they're picking up that money from somewhere.
It came out of the
So-
anticipated surplus, what the governor did. He took
So what does that end up for
$490 million.
Sevastopol? What's your-
So we're gonna fix this
Estimated
later.
I
rate.
don't
You've got
have
it.
any credits yet or anything like that, but,
Yeah, 2016.
let's see, if you're in the Sevastopol School District,
Yeah, ours is kind of half one.
would be about $11.15. That's the Sevastopol School District. State, county, Sevastopol School, NWTC, and municipality. $11.15. For that Ward 2 in the Sturgeon Bay School District, right now I'm looking at $16.32. It's always been about $5 difference.
What was our
But
rate
don't
last year?
take these to heart because I haven't received credits yet, the school tax credits and some other aids. So this is just a gross.
You get so many more.
Remember what our number was last year?
Ours is,
Yeah, last year it was, we were at $11.49. So there again, there's that 30 cents decrease. And Sturgeon Bay School District was at $16.67. So, like I said, it could be about 30 cents less per thousand, unless something unexpected comes along. Like we don't get our school tax or our school credits or something like that.
What was Sevastopol School, 11 what?
11.15.
$11.15, but again, that's a gross amount,
that's the
it's
combined.
not set in stone.
Okay.
There'll be aids, hopefully, that will knock that down a little bit.
Do you want to speak more on
Well,
your
if
issues here?
this is an appropriate time, I'd just like to
Yeah, go ahead.
maybe ask some questions and maybe get some guidance from the group here. And it's wonderful that Mr. Kitchens is here, being new, you could hear what my concern is. When we moved here about full-time, we moved here last year, right in time for the good winter, but we had a 6-month residence. And of course, we live on Bay Shore, actually right across the street, almost directly across the street from Leo. It's the old Sturgeon Bay Brewery site. And we built a home there and we love the area so much. But I kept looking at signs up and down Bay Shore Drive for sale. I kept wondering, why don't these houses sell, especially the ones around where we live? They've been on the market for years. And I come to find out that we are in what they call the special Sturgeon Bay Sevastopol area that is kind of like taxed. I don't want to use the phrase taxed twice, but we're paying more taxes where we live, and much other people are too, because a number of years ago, they got that section carved out because they didn't want their kids to go to, at that time, which was considered, you know, rural school, you know, a Sevastopol, and they wanted their kids to go to Sturgeon Bay. Well, in fact, Sevastopol is one of the top 100 high schools in the country.
Yes, we are.
And we should be very proud that we can send our kids there, even though we don't have kids.
I don't have kids.
But we have real estate values that I think are and taxes that are inflated because of that. We're paying twice, basically. I'm paying, part of my taxes go to Sturgeon Bay schools, and part of them go to Sevastopol schools. Even though I don't live in Sturgeon Bay, I get nothing from Sturgeon Bay.
No, wait,
No,
you don't get taxed at both
No,
districts.
I get taxed at a higher rate,
You get taxed the same rate as Sturgeon Bay does.
and I also have to pay Sevastopol taxes.
No.
Just for,
Town
no,
is Sevastopol.
yeah,
Town is-
just on the
Right.
school.
All right,
Right,
one
on the school.
at a time.
But isn't that what I'm saying? I'm paying for 2 school districts.
I don't think so.
No, you're not. You
Let,
pay for
uh,
one school district,
Could if you.
whether you're in the Sturgeon Bay or the Sevastopol district.
Yeah, so I'm paying,
But your town tax is the same as everybody else in the town. So you gotta look at your tax bill and separate the school out from all the other, the state
right,
and everybody else. Your school tax will say Sturgeon Bay, and you're paying approximately $5 a thousand more than the people that send their kids to Sevastopol.
okay.
And that district runs, I believe, almost down to Birmingham's Tavern, or Lori Lane,
It's
Right,
in Lori,
somewhere
it's
around
the
there.
end of Lori Lane.
So is it fair to say that I'm paying more taxes?
You're paying a higher rate of tax
Higher rate
because
of
you're
tax.
in the Sturgeon Bay School District.
You're paying
But
this,
is
only
what Linda's-
on the school levy,
Yes,
only
okay.
on the school
You're
levy.
paying
You're
this-
paying the same for the state, county, town of Sevastopol, and WTC. You're paying the same as everybody else, but you're paying a Sturgeon Bay School District mill rate and opposed to a Sevastopol School District mill rate.
Okay, well,
You
then
don't
that's-
get to pay for both.
But that, and that's this way, if I move my house like identically where it is now, same house there, and I moved it out of that area, north of Lori Lane, or whatever that is, my taxes would be less, overall tax.
yes.
Because you would be in the
That's not
Sevastopol
overall
School
tax.
District.
Overall, real estate.
Just the school tax.
Okay, okay.
School tax.
The money comes out of my pocket,
Right.
Yeah.
which I calculate
You
is
would
about
pay
$5,000.
less taxes, but it
Right.
would only be because of the school.
Well, I pay about $5,000 a year on a $17,000 tax bill in excess, just because of where I live. The way I figure. And that change, I don't think is fair, because what happened 40 years ago, whenever that was, excuse me if I don't have the right date, was done when when the kids were, when those kids now, you know, they have grandkids, and the people that live in those houses don't have, you know, young kids probably. A lot of them don't. We don't. So I just think it's not fair. And so one of the things I want to do is, this year, coming 2015, try to understand this more and go to the people who are affected by it and ask them, do they think it's fair?
I guess
Well,
I
you
can address
can't-
it, because I've been president of the Sturgeon Bay School Board for
All right.
a long time.
Welcome to our world.
No, I understand I understand obviously your concern. I mean, the problem is Sevastopol has twice the valuation that we do and about a third of the students. So obviously their rate is much lower. You can do that. You can petition that. Lori Lane petitioned that and tried to get it changed, but it won't happen. They won't allow that because
Who is they?
the state will not allow
And
that.
who's the
The
state?
Department of Public
Yeah,
Instruction.
public instruction
But
will not allow it.
your local school board has the right.
Yeah, you could let the people from Horseshoe Bay go to Gibraltar like they would like to. You know, they're not. You know, we're not going to allow that obviously because it would allow because everybody's taxes would go up. You know, so no school district is going to allow an area, especially a wealthy area, to leave their district because everybody else's taxes would go up. Again, the people at Horseshoe Bay, they would like to join Gibraltar rather than Sevastopol because their taxes would go way down because Gibraltar has a lot higher valuation than Sevastopol does. It's an unfortunate situation. I understand your concern, but the chances of that happening, I know that the Department of Public Instruction, they will not allow people to move just because the taxes are lower. They won't allow that.
First consideration is education of the children in the district, the part that you're wishing to remove from the Sturgeon Bay School District. DPI will say, your first concern is, are the educational needs of those children being met? And you have to establish that they are not being met in the Sturgeon Bay School District, and you want to move them to Sevastopol School District. That's one of the main criteria for moving, out of one district into another.
Yeah, they won't allow it just to lower your taxes. Because it would be a mess all over the state.
Right.
Everybody would want to go to the district with lower taxes. I mean, so
Yeah, you can't pick and choose which tax district. Oh, I'm on the northern end of Sevastopol, I'm gonna petition to go to the town of Big Harbor because their
Why did they
taxes are
change
lower.
the
They
in the
just-
first place then? Why did they have that happen 40 years ago?
Well, basically, the people along Bayshore Drive were not satisfied with the Sevastopol School District, and they had more than 50% of the property owners petitioned. And maybe, I believe the standards were different then, Mr. Kitchens, that the DPI did allow it, they got approval from the school boards or somehow.
I wasn't here
And
then. but yeah,
DPI
that
did
was-
allow it. I believe the regulations have changed a lot since then.
Yeah.
That
So-
to go back, it would probably, like Mr. Kitchens said, it would probably be impossible to
Possible
ever.
or against the law, or, I mean, because if you had 50% of the people who wanted to do it,
And you have to have good standing. What is your standing?
nothing is
Are you gonna
impossible.
say, oh, my standing is because the taxes are lower? That's not gonna fly.
Lori Lane, I think virtually everyone on Lori Lane wanted to leave Sturgeon Bay, go to Sevastopol, and they wouldn't allow that.
well, I can understand that because that's not 50% of the people who were affected by that. It's only a small area, right?
Well,
I mean, if you had 50%, if you had 51% of the people today say, I don't wanna do this, I want the Department of Education to look at this, is that what it takes?
they won't,
You have to
and can you imagine all over the state if every place could go to whichever district had the lower
Well,
taxes?
then why was it done in the first place?
That was a long time ago. I don't
Well,
know what
I
the
mean,
politics were back then.
And it did not, I don't think it had anything to do with taxes, Bill.
Right.
It had to do with the school
Okay.
system. The people along Bay Shore did not like Sevastopol. They like you said, they considered it a rural school, and they wanted to go to Sturgeon Bay. And basically, that's what it came down to.
It just seems totally unfair. I mean, I hear what you're saying about the rules, but I mean, rules, who makes the rules? Voters hopefully make the rules.
And that, like you said, that was 40 years ago. Rules have, and the laws
think
have
all the-
changed a lot since then.
All the districts were shaped in weird different ways way back, but, I mean, I think nowadays they will not allow it to change just to save money. I just know they won't allow that. I mean, you're welcome to try, obviously, but, they'll petition, Sturgeon Bay will say no, and DPI will say, we'll act on it. That's just what they've done every time.
So who is DPI? I know what it is, but who are the people? Is it the director of the
I'm not sure, it's the whole
Must be a board.
agency,
Public
but yeah.
Must have a board.
yeah, but is it like one person or is it a group?
I'm sure there's a board, but again, I just know that they will not allow that for that reason, because it would just be a mess. And again, you'd have, Horseshoe Bay would leave Sevastopol, so it would.
Can't be that many kids in Horseshoe Bay that they.
Oh, God,
No,
yeah.
they would want their taxes.
500-600 kids up there during the summer when they're golfing.
They just want their taxes
They
lower,
just
too.
would want their taxes lower, because Gibraltar's a lot lower than Sevastopol, so.
Well,
Right.
I probably got it.
This subject keeps coming back all the time, but what it amounts to is the Bayshore property owners are going to have to get together, and they're going to have to foot the bill, hire attorneys, whatever, and push the issue, and whether you win or not, like Joe's saying, may not. So,
I do know that there was a
There's more to
movement
it,
afoot
you know.
some years ago to petition DPI for that purpose. And back then, it required that both boards of education agree to the change. So there's no way that Sturgeon Bay is gonna agree to take high-valued properties to go to the bank.
How much does Sturgeon Bay get from people who are doing it, Randy?
Yeah, I have no idea, but it would be I mean, it would obviously raise everybody else's taxes, so there's just
Well-
nobody gives up property.
The assessed valuation for the Sturgeon Bay School District, is, just the real estate portion. I'll round it off to 114 million. And compared to the Sevastopol School District, that's the remainder, 602 million.
So the
Total
land,
718.
the land that's in that area represents
So the
hundred
land,
and twenty
right.
million.
Well, the Sevastopol School District is about $1.4 billion.
Including the other towns.
Right,
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
under,
We were just talking about
Jackson.
Sevastopol.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
And I
just
don't
talking
remember
Sevastopol.
where we are exactly, but we're certainly under $1 billion. So, I mean, that's a considerable, pretty big chunk of our valuations.
Okay, so you're not getting,
You
you're
got an
not
uphill
paying
battle.
twice.
Well, at least I'm getting some information, so I appreciate it.
No.
Not the information you wanted to hear, sorry.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to get used to that, Joe.
Did you get the numbers for this year, the difference?
All right, before we go into our regular special town meeting, did you have anything you want to do to address the group, Joel? Or?
No, I just, all I want to say, I just came by tonight, I wanted to have a chance to meet some of, some of you I know, some of you I don't know, but, I just want to have those relationships, so, I want you guys to feel comfortable calling me, because a big part of my job is being an advocate for the towns as well as the people and the businesses down in Madison, so just want to come by and meet everybody and hear what your problems are kind of, and feel free to call me.
Cozy up to the DNR.
That's for this year.
Those are the people we need help with.
Yeah.
Get on the DNR board.
And I assume you'll be added to our agenda for Wisconsin Towns, our Door County Unit Meeting of Wisconsin Towns Association.
Okay.
As a legislator. Barry was very good on attending our meetings.
Okay, well, let me
I
know.
believe the next one is January 12th in Beverly's Harbor, but
Okay,
we'll make sure you get on there.
okay.
Okay, are we done with the hearing on the budget? All right, let's go into the special town meeting. 6:30, we're at 6:37. 6:38. Call to order, and let's rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, well, that's we're trying to save.
We're very tight.
Okay, we probably could have done this before, but let's start. Linda Waite is our clerk treasurer. And Chuck, why don't you start?
Chuck Day, supervisor.
Dan Wolfel, supervisor.
Leo Zipper, the town chair.
I'm Bill Welcher, resident.
John Stavnis, town supervisor.
Joel Kitchens, representative-elect in the assembly.
Dick Weidman, town supervisor.
And behind the camera.
Patty Chapman, town resident.
Scares a lot of people.
Yeah, okay. Let's go back and take a look at the minutes of November 18, 2013. Hopefully y'all had a chance to take a look at it. And this will be our chance to approve it.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
November 18th, 2013.
Second?
Need a second to that motion, and,
Dick?
Dick,
Mr.
give a second.
Wagner?
Sure, I'll take that.
okay. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and it's carried. Next item of business would be the resolution number 1, 2014, T as in town, for the town. to adopt the tax levy for 2014. Linda, you want to give us the numbers?
So I'll just skip down to the third paragraph there. Whereas the 2015 proposed budget, as presented by the Town Board of Supervisors, projects a total expenditure of $1,065,298.
That's 1065?
1,065,298.
Okay.
With a general property tax levy of $649,106, and that's general property plus levy for debt, total of $649,106. And now, therefore, at the special town meeting of the town of Sevastopol, Door County, Wisconsin, by a majority vote of the eligible electors, and an eligible elector is anyone eligible to vote as a town of Sevastopol resident, voting on this 17th day of November 2014, duly assembled and voting, resolves and orders as follows. Be it resolved that the electors of the town of Sevastopol, Door County, Wisconsin, hereby adopt the town tax levy for 2014 to be collected in the year 2015 in the amount of, and I believe we would need a motion then for $649,106.
Linda, could you fill it in on the board so I can get it on the town, please? Picture's worth a thousand.
So based on our evaluation, oops, I'm left-handed. General
Almost forgot.
levy of $649,106 for both debt and general. And then I guess we would need a motion.
I would make a motion to approve that levy.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dan and a second by Chuck. Do we have any further discussion? Okay, we'll do it by a voice vote unless we have a problem. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you for your time and your patience.
Could we fill in that number now?
So that would be 8 electors
8 to
here.
0.
8 electors voting aye.
8. 8 it is.
The resolution is approved.
Could we fill in the number now? Or
No,
not?
because the mill rate is determined by the town board at the town board meeting.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought it was automatic.
It might be.
We don't tell anybody.
There are no other submitted resolutions. The motion would be in order to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for your time.
Are we adjourned until 7 o'clock then?
Yes, sir. Call to order the meeting of the Town of Sevastopol Board of Supervisors for Monday, November 17, at 7:02. Roll call to establish a quorum, please.
Supervisor Weidman,
Here.
Supervisor Tice,
Here.
Chairman Zipper,
Here.
Supervisor Wolfel,
Here.
Supervisor Stabenus.
Here.
And the meet and greet tonight doesn't include anyone outside of the board. Oh, that's right. We met you earlier, so. Public participation, do we have anyone wishing to speak? Laddie?
Not today, thank you.
Thank you. The agenda has been properly noticed.
It has been.
I need a motion to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approval of the minutes, Board of Supervisors, October 27th.
Move that we approve the October 27th minutes.
I'd second that.
Question? Comment? None.
Good.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on, approved. Financial reports. Go through October, actually we have two. The first would be through September 30, and the second would be October 31. I believe, Linda, you made your corrections on page 1.
That is correct. I was missing some credits
And the
and
September fund balance is the 165, was that the one?
debits. Correct.
Okay. Chuck, you found that error, is that okay?
It is, along with all the other numbers that go with it.
All right, so then we can look at October 31, and those are acceptable as well? That would be the budget versus actual and the transaction list by date. Need a motion to approve?
Move that we approve the financial reports for September 30th and October 31.
I'll second that.
Motion made in second. Questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. Oral committee reports or committee minutes. Hearing none, seeing none, license and permits would be next. Anything in particular that stood out or need a question on?
I just think it's nice we're having a lot of building in the town.
Hey.
You notice they're all garages.
Yeah, I know, but you gotta start someplace.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna build a garage first, and then we'll put the house right next door.
The building in the town has really picked up over the whole year. So.
There's one guy here down on 4771 Bay Shore Drive, I don't know who that is.
3871, what?
4771.
Yeah, that guy's got a big mess. He's building a garage, hide it all.
Yeah. Okay, that's an FYI. Implements the husbandry, the ag vehicles. The session was held this morning at 10:30 at the Highway Department. We had a pretty decent crew. Numbers wise, I don't have the actual numbers, but most of the towns were represented. We did have a state trooper inspector guy there to explain it on his part, as well as Lieutenant Farley from the county. Basically, what we walked away with, everyone was going to be happy with option F. And actually what we do is we abide by Act 377. There's no special action that we need to take. No publishing is required as in communication and the permit. We must respond to any permit applications that would come our way. And the implement of husbandry and the ag commercial, whatever it is, CMS, must apply for a permit to exceed the 20,000 ton, 23,000 pound single axle and the 92,000 total axle weight, vehicle weight. And if they wanted to exceed that, they would have to apply for that. We have an option of either issuing a permit or denying it, or suggesting they take a different route.
So they apply to the towns.
Yes.
They make application to the town, there's a permit that is up on the website. And I think Chuck and I brought along some other information previously for each unit that,
That's the permit.
yeah,
That's what you're supposed to
you
take.
take a look at
Take
it.
one.
Oh, no, there's just one, so you're each
Yeah.
taking a page, it appears.
No, we aren't gonna take any. so.
Oh, we're not?
No,
Anyway,
I'm
the
sorry, I
application
meant
is
not
made
withdraw,
here.
cover.
FYI.
Yep.
And it's gonna be rather hard to regulate, or to find out how many.
It's a 4-page application.
They'll change their mind about driving through town before they fill this out.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's a 4-page application.
So we need to go on record down the tube a little bit to find out what our ambition is going to be or what direction we're going to give it. So if we can either bring it back into policy statement, there's no need for a resolution or ordinance, or else we can just do it by consensus that we would have, the permit would be available and made to the town, and we could allow Linda to be the recipient of the permits. And if there's anything else that needs to be accomplished, they could go to the county highway department and make application there. So the problem with enforcement is that we don't have a constable, we don't have an ordinance to propose the axle or vehicle gross restrictions. The only thing we got out of today's meeting is the Sheriff's Department is not in a position to enforce the town ordinance and legally cannot. And as far as the weights are concerned, they have no portable scales at which to temporarily weigh a vehicle to see if it is in violation. And then we left with the idea that if we do have someone who is continually violating or we think might be in violation of any of the axle weights, that we would notify them and they in turn would get a hold of the state. And the state said they could have someone here within 2 hours from the complaint issue. And normally what happens is if the manure operators are going to be emptying their holding, it's longer than just 1 day. So if we know that they've started and they're continuing, we can go on that basis. But there are a lot of other requirements that they went over today with the farmers with their large vehicles as well, when they have to be lit and how wide they can be. So it's nothing that we're going to enforce, but you can look at the information. Linda, did you have that sheet?
Yes, I did distribute, there should be at each of the
The
board
single
members'
page?
places, the implements of husbandry,
Yeah.
and the, there was a second sheet as well.
Did you bring those
Changes-
other sheets that I gave you
changes to-
this morning?
Everyone should have one of these as well.
Yeah, okay. That kind of explains it, and I think what we'll do is just hang tight for a little bit. We need to get it accomplished by January 15. And there's, if you have a question or something we can answer, we'll try to get that before. So it will be an item for next month. Without it being resolution or ordinance, I think we'll just establish a policy to follow.
Thank you.
Bring it back. New business item, discussion action. 2015 meeting schedule.
I think it must be,
Oh, yeah. November 4th, election report.
Election report.
We've had a very busy Linda's gonna give us a quick update on that.
Yes, the November 4th election is over. Sevastopol. Thank goodness. We had 1,678 voters vote on November 4th, which represents 78% of our total registered voters, which is now 2,000, slightly over 2,100. We had 93 new registers on election day, so new people that now reside in the town of Sevastopol, plus a few extra change of address forms or change of name forms. We had 363 absentee ballots. That is not a record. We had 600 absentee ballots for the November 2012 presidential election. But I must say that the absentee in person in my office, although very time-consuming, was good for sales of mugs, caps, and decks of cards. And also our Sevastopol stories. So I'm collecting a list of names to have that printed. You'll also note that the town of Sevastopol was randomly selected for audit purposes, so I need to get in touch with our county clerk, Jill Lau, because obviously they have all of our ballots. We have to hand count our ballots. Remember last month we talked about the public test, how we test our equipment? Well, that's why we test our equipment, to make sure they're functioning properly. So sometime between now and December 15th, I have to round up a few people and actually hand count every single ballot.
Wow. Too late to change the results though, huh?
It won't change the results. But just to look at the ballots, like an example would be, it's pretty hard to do with the felt tip markers that we use, but I know some municipalities will use a pencil in their voting booth. Okay, so the voter darkened an oval, whoops, I made a mistake, they erase it, and I meant to vote for someone else. So that would be a good test of a machine to make sure that it's reading the proper oval. So, and obviously the town of Sevastopol did remain with the Republican majority. Our poll workers, whatever party received the majority of votes, either in a presidential or a gubernatorial election, that then the poll workers, so obviously Republicans, if I had 11 poll workers, 6 of them would be Republican and 5 would be either Democrat or unaffiliated. So that's why we always, determine the majority at those primary elections, the main elections. And it went really well. I mentioned it in the community column. We had a great crew of poll workers and assisting with greeters and registrations. And thanks again to Sue Reef, who donated a huge platter of submarine sandwiches. And
Really?
it just really had, I'm sorry, the submarine sandwiches were for the poll
poll
workers
workers.
only.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. So it was a great day. Everything went really smooth.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, the meeting schedule as proposed for the draft series, take it along. And we tried to capture the dates that were similar to what we had accomplished in 2014. And made the adjustments for when we can work in the open book and the board of review, and the open book session and the board of review are solid, so those dates will not be changed. And the annual town meeting is by statute, so that won't be changed. Take it along, let us know if you have any kind of a problem with any of the dates. Is there a reason why February is blank or not?
I don't know why it's blank. There was no date filled in there, so.
Okay.
I plan on being in town on February.
All of the month?
I wondered that too. Just the normal third Monday then in February?
That could be, but I don't see any reason why we would have to get away from that. We do have a book here that's got a calendar, I'll bet, even.
The third Monday in February 2015 would be February 16th.
Okay.
If we have a primary election, it will be February 17th.
I think that was the reason why we
Maybe that's
kind
why
of
we left
fudged
it
on that
blank.
one, so
Yeah.
you just want to back it up a week?
That would be fine, because then if we did not need a meeting in March, we could have that later,
Yeah, okay.
February 1.
All right.
So February 23rd as a tentative?
You gonna be around or not?
I gotta look at the calendar on that one. I'm gone the last week.
That is the last week.
February, I think, and the 1st of March. I'll have to look at that, Leo.
Okay. Well, okay.
We'll know more as we get closer to that, whether you'll have a primary or not, so we can adjust the date.
So we just, why don't we pencil in the
16th?
16th, and we'll make a note that we might have to change. Okay, John, you know when you're gonna be vacationing again or not?
Yeah, I looked at that, I don't know exactly for sure, but that's a Tuesday.
Okay.
What, if we have 2 weeks before the regular town board meeting, so does that have to be posted so many days beforehand, or could we move it to the next week back?
We can move them back and forth, just that we
We did that this year, too.
try to give a little semblance of order.
So, as far as I know, we'll probably be coming back on that day,
What month, John?
October,
Okay.
for the budget work session,
Oh, sure.
so
That's flexible.
That's flexible.
that would be the only one that I know. Conflict.
Well, we could move it off of that Tuesday. You're gonna be back later, you think?
Well, no, I would be back on that Tuesday probably,
All right.
so.
All right, well, let's leave that open and then we can do it next time. All right, what do you have in May for road inspection? We don't have that many roads to take a look at, but probably take half a day anyway.
We got a little town of Scott.
Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, what's day? Saturday works better,
Doesn't matter.
unless you're planting grapes, Dick.
Planting grapes, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's look for a Saturday. How about the,
Snow gonna be gone by the 9th?
8th or 9th?
are we doing what?
Friday.
I said,
Use your
will the
phone.
snow be gone
Ninth.
by the 9th?
No.
Oh,
I think I just had to turn it on. Do it the 9th before it gets to be too nice out.
The 10th is Mother's Day though.
Oh, yeah, that'll stop the roads.
By Saturday?
All right, let's go, I think I'm gonna be gone anyway in March or May. The 9th would probably not work for me. What is the 16th? Is that anybody's birthday or not?
No. My sister's birthday's the 17th, but she's not impacted.
Mother's Day is on the 10th, and Victoria has a day on the 18th. Memorial Day is 25. So, should we just capture the 16th and see if that works?
Okay.
And, well, okay, we aren't gonna decide what we're gonna do anyways.
We can always move it too if we need to, we get
Yeah.
closer. It's not a big deal.
So what day do we put in?
Saturday the 16th.
Saturday is number 16
We were gonna do an earlier.
of May.
We could have done a Friday, but we don't want to chew up your vacation.
That's
days.
fine, you can do it Friday if you want.
Yeah, okay. All right, the next item would be the notice of public office, spring election. The office of town chairman and 2 supervisors are up. Leo Zipper, John Stavinus, and Richard Whiteman. First day to circulate, December 1st, primary will be held on February 17. Final day for filing is January 6th. So if anyone intends to run for any of those offices, you'll need to pick up your papers and get them circulated. Final statement of assessment and statement of equalized value for 2014. Aggregated assessed property subject to the general property tax 718,079.
How come we're off by 1,000?
Does anybody know what class 4 agricultural land is?
Was that the number up there or not?
Nine, that's 79 on here and 78.
Oh, 795. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Could just be a typo. She's left-handed.
Okay.
No, I have
You're only off by 1,000.
78 on here too. That's going to reduce our mill rate even further.
Now, what?
782.
We gotta have a special meeting all over again.
$1,000. That's all there is to it.
No, because
Keep having special
none of the
meetings.
resolutions addressed our assessed valuation. None of the resolutions that we talked about there affected our assessed valuation. The
So what-
tax levy would still be the same. The mill rate's definitely gonna change with
So
the
what is our real
$1,000.
number?
Our real number is 718,079,500.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I have all the codes.
Okay, street lighting fixture replacement, Sturgeon Bay Utilities. They would like for us to take a look at our needs as far as the bulbs are concerned, and they're promoting is this gonna be an LED or not, or what, Linda?
Jason, it's not mandatory that we change them. We can replace them with these LED lights as the old ones burn out. I was thinking that if we do need to replace them here or there, we do have funds now accumulating in our asset replacement fund, so we shouldn't be in too dire straits if we need to replace several in a year.
The fixtures would run for at least 10 years, maintenance-free. The costs are about $180 to $245 per fixture, depending on the style. So the one that was at C&W, were they going to change that one out to be LED or not?
Remember he had a hood and a fixture here a few months ago?
Right, yeah. John
And I
took it all apart and put it back
think-
together.
Yep.
Okay.
So we did pay for a replacement lamp there. It was only like $17 or something, so.
Okay.
The old stuff.
So I'm sure it was the old style, not the new style.
Did he tell you how much less it would be to run them? I mean, it's the kind of thing where we get a quick payback, or are we just talking centuries?
Well,
I mean, the LEDs cost,
You
remember the
don't-
Christmas tree light thing went from 110 down to $10 in 1 month.
I don't think that you actually change a bulb on the LEDs. I think you change the whole fixture.
Right, but
So you gotta pay the 140, but you know, if you take it away from every 3 years, you got $14.
yeah, but the
For the other
LED
ones.
versus the sodium,
Well, yeah,
that's what I'm saying, you
The
could end up
energy.
with a huge difference in the bill. Then it might be
Yeah, the
worthwhile.
sodium's gonna be a little more expensive.
Right.
Or we can take the light down all the time.
But it doesn't pay to start changing them, just to change them till they go bad, I wouldn't think.
Unless the operational expense is less. That's what he doesn't say in there.
Well, right, he doesn't tell you how much it costs to run one, but
Well, if you look at the light we have now, it's $55. And approximately $14 every 3 years to replace the bulb. Over the 10-year period, that's $97. If you're going to buy the LED fixture, you're gonna pay at least $180 to $245, depending on which one you choose. So the only savings you're gonna come up with is the amount of electricity you're gonna use.
Yeah, long term.
So how much power are we actually going to save?
Gotta save $73 on the low end over 10 years. So all we gotta do is just ask them whether or not, how much we should save on a bulb blend, and then we could decide what to do with it.
As they burn out, right? Replace as they burn out, not just go out there and replace them all.
I don't know, how much do we pay them in general for our electricity, for our
Our
lights?
bill, what is our bill to Sturgeon Bay Utilities?
can't be that much.
It's in the packet?
800 some bucks a month.
Or,
That's WPS. The Sturgeon Bay Utility ones, I wanna say is like 87 or 78 or something.
a month?
Yeah,
Oh, that
I don't,
answers
I'm
that
not sure where
question.
the bill packet is right now.
Don't worry about it. We couldn't save enough money in 2 lifetimes.
We don't have enough lights, we don't have that many lights.
Right. I was thinking we were spending $4,500.
The other side of that information was though that the lamps we're using don't shed as much light. They're not intersection lamps. They're more like yard lights.
Yeah.
We could maybe eliminate a couple of fixtures, especially on Old Highway Road or Egg Harbor Road area, where we have like 3, 4 of them light in the area. If we actually put in a street light, we might be able to eliminate 1 or 2 other yard lights.
At one time, we had a list of all the lights and their location. You want to bring that back for next month? We know,
We had it from the road inspection.
we've got
trip this spring.
Sturgeon
I
Bay
have it.
Utilities, and then we do have
We have
WPS
to do
as
it at
well.
night though, if we wanna see the lights lit up.
Can you do that, or? Okay.
All the lighting locations and, yeah, we
Very
pay Sturgeon Bay Utilities $84 a month for lighting. And when Jason Beery was here, a few months ago, I think his main emphasis was that the newer lights provide better coverage than the old style lights. And more resistant to wind and storms and whatever.
Yeah, they don't have a filament in there to break.
Okay.
Table it.
Okay, we'll bring it back next month. Review and adoption of the 2015 budget. Are you happy, unhappy? You have a change of mark?
I just went into the spreadsheet and did correct my error to reflect the $718,079,500. So I do have a new mill rate for you if you're interested. 0.903947. So 2/1000th of a penny.
I'll stay with the old one.
Okay, very good.
What was that?
I didn't even write it down. Stay with the old one.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you didn't write it down.
We can't even spend that much.
Okay, the tax bill insert for,
I'm sorry, do we need a motion to adopt that budget?
I thought we were gonna
That's under the resolutions.
do
Or
that in
it just
resolution
comes up in
form.
the resolution? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the tax bill insert for December 2014 has been included. If you want any more items listed, please be in contact with Linda. As of this morning, I learned that the numbers have come into the treasurer's office, and they might be doing the tax bills as readily as next week.
Right.
so,
Yeah, we're waiting for one number, and I guess we're gonna have that number November 20th, so.
very good. So the bad news will be good news. So if you had any corrections or you want anything else added, please do that. That is the insert that goes with the tax bill. Tom, park tree lighting ceremony, when does Santa want to do that, Dan?
We just have to settle on a time. And I guess that's up to everybody's calendar. Obviously, next weekend, we have the proverbial deer hunting. So you can pretty much wipe that out. So it would either be the following weekend, if you wanted to do that, the 29th, or we're into the first week in December, or someday during the week. And it really depends on John, because you got the truck. And inevitably, the infamous lights will need repair.
They always do.
They've never made it a year yet where they have worked successfully. So,
John, do you have a date?
No, I do not.
do you want to do it during, like, the week of,
I'll try, see. I got
Well,
new-
let's stay out of
Supervisor.
Thanksgiving week. Can we do December something?
yeah, I was going to say, we'll do it the
Yeah.
first week in December.
I'll shoot for that, yes. I have a new boss now, so I have to, figure that out yet, so.
So, is there a day of the week that you would think would be better for you, though? No. Nice. Okay, so you want to pick any date, or just leave it wide open and try and circle the wagons?
Well, why don't we let him
What
tell
date
us
would
what
be
he,
best for,
Makes no difference,
Oh.
I'm just saying, if you had a day that you think is not as busy for you guys, we'd take that day. All right, then we'll leave it in your lap the first week of
depends
December.
on if the wind picks up or not.
pick a warm one.
Okay,
All right, we'll try to do it the week of December 1st.
Okay, first week in December. Christmas open house at the town hall. Yeah, Linda, what a party gal, always party.
Well, we had an open house a couple years ago, and I had a few people drift in and out. I got a request from a couple residents to have another open house. So, and we may even have Santa visiting from the North Pole
Cool.
with one of his elves. So I am thinking, if the board is agreeable to Friday, December 19th, from like 4:30 to 6 p.m., and we would just have like maybe a sliced ham with some sandwiches and chips and cookies and,
We need a resolution. So be it.
any other suggestions?
What was your time?
4:30 to 6, something like that, 4 to 6, 4 to
Friday
6 on a Friday afternoon. We can have happy hour. Somebody already suggested Tom and Jerry's, so.
Tom's no longer on the board, but we could ask Jerry.
I knew that was.
Okay.
Are you
why don't we-
agreeable to something like that?
December 19th
Are you
sounds
agreeable?
great.
Okay. And we'd invite everybody, like our committee members and
The whole town.
poll workers, the whole town, everybody,
open house.
absolutely. An open house for absolutely
Put it on the
everyone who
sign.
wants to attend.
Sign out front.
Okay, December 19, why don't we capture that date and do it 4 to 6, you said?
One less.
Or thereabouts. Mhm.
All right, by consensus, I guess we'll try to be there.
Thank you.
Yeah, all righty. So then the resolution 4-2014, TB is to establish a tax rate in 2014 to be collected in 2015. So with the numbers we had previously, we're still in line.
We are, should I just read the paragraph with the numbers, or?
Well, I don't think we need the numbers, but.
Tax levy would stay the same, $649,106, based on total expenditures of $1,065,298. and taking into consideration our total assessed valuation of $718,079,500, the mill rate would be established at 0.903947.
Okay, I need a motion to that effect.
Bill. Move to approve resolution number 04, 2014 TB, establishing the tax levy as stated and the mill rate as stated.
Second that.
Question or comments? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that's carried. Approval of the vouchers, bills, and claims, October 28th through November 17th.
Move that we approve vouchers, bills, and claims, October 28, 2014 through November 17, 14.
Second that.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Correspondence, let's see, we did have,
No nasty letters. Oh, good.
how lucky it says your township has been selected. Wow. Who didn't like you, Linda? Oh.
It was random.
So they run the show, or how does that work?
I have to coordinate with Jill when I can
Okay.
find a few people and go up to her office, I believe, since that's where our ballots are stored.
Okay. Door County room tax was another issue here.
Where did this come from, this note? Chuck?
The Tourism Zone Commission is asking that that be included with the tax bill, reminding all innkeepers, transient rental properties that room tax is owed and they should be permitted. And it gives the information where to obtain that permit and who to call. Believe it or not, we still have people that say they didn't know that we had a room tax ordinance.
Is that going to be allowable in a tax
We are-
envelope or not?
We already have it on our tax insert. I have a little paragraph about room tax already on our insert.
Oh, okay. All right, very good.
We've been doing that for quite a few years.
I think it comes up every year, some of the towns don't do it yet.
Is our tax bill filled with stuff? Or can you put that in as a separate item?
It's already in.
It's in the news, in our,
Yeah.
We've had it
It's
in
on the
ours
insert.
for several years
Yeah.
already. Not word for word, but she does.
this.
Right.
Yeah,
If you look
it's in
at
here.
ours,
No, I understand it's in here. I'm asking, is there still room to put this or another page in? Is it in?
oh,
No, I know it's in there. I'm just
you
asking
mean
if
as
she
a
has-
separate mailing?
As a separate
Oh,
piece in
no,
there, you're
no,
right at the limit?
No, there's only one.
No, you only get one
two-sided, yeah.
two-sided insert.
Okay, that's what I was
Otherwise,
asking.
you fold and seal yourself, so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if anyone's interested, I can provide you the county total expense and the revenue and the county tax levy. It's a $74 million budget, less revenue of 47, with a county tax levy of 26.3. The tax rate that you're interested in is $3.82 per thousand of equalized value. It's equivalent to about 16 cent per thousand value increase. We are bringing about 6 new paramedic positions in the EMS. There will be a 3-year 2.7 and something less than that fiber optic system with Insight, part of Cellcom. And that will include hookup to Sevastopol School and Southern Door. Any other, Richard, or not? I think that
Maybe our Kelly.
Gibraltar will be, all the school districts will be hooked up to the dark fiber.
And there is a possibility that we can jump aboard as well.
There is that
Here-
possibility.
Here at the town, so. It looks like a pretty good move, but I thought I'd give you the highlights of where your money's gonna be going. And short of borrowing that kind of money, it looks like we're on a 3-year payback system with Insight. And we might have sufficient funds to do it without borrowing. So that was good news. The announcements are, they closed on Thanksgiving Day holiday, Thursday. And then we're all going to Linda's house on Friday for the leftovers.
I am going to La Crosse, so
Okay, well, just leave the food behind.
you will not find any leftovers at my house.
Okay, Sevastopol Historical Society Christmas Party is Monday, December 1. Glen Drive Association Holiday Party, December 6th. Next Board of Supervisors meeting is Monday, December 15 at 7. Items for the next meeting would be the streetlight fixture replacement. And we need to take some activity on the implement of husbandry vehicles, ag vehicles. And anyone else have any other additions?
We'll probably have something on the Rushi property
Okay,
at that time.
very well. Nothing else, a presentation, huh? On where we at? Some kind of
Well,
presentation
we have a meeting coming up on Thursday.
on the 20th.
Hopefully, we'll have a recommendation from the committee as to, or request where to go from here.
Okay. All right, if there are no other items for the next, the motion would be in order to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made and second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, and we are adjourned.